My fellow Chicagoans, sports fans from the north side to the south side. For all those who bleed navy and orange, red and black, cubby blue, black and white. Tonight, we gather not as fans of teams, but as believers in a sports city with grit, history, heartbreak, and hope. It's my honor to present the 2025 State of the Chicago League. Y'all like that? Yeah, y'all like that. That was real presidential like. Yeah, that's real presidential like. But no, we definitely gonna do it for the end of the Because I Have a Live Mic year. We're going to end off the year with a hopeful finish for what is to become the Chicago sports scene this upcoming year. And as we all know, the Bears is the official start of the Chicago sports scene. That is without any doubt in my mind that it is the Chicago Bears that start off the Chicago sports scene. So we should start off with our Chicago Bears. And as we know, the Chicago Bears have had a history, if we shall believe that, because yeah. But hey, coming off the 2024 season, Caleb Williams, the number one pick, not only in the draft but in our hearts, our franchise quarterback, arrived with the weight of the city's desperation on our shoulders. The Chicago Bears have been synonymous with defense and mediocre quarterback play. Now, last season, there were flashes of brilliance, moments that made us believe. But there were some growing pains, some protection breakdowns, some questionable play calling, and ultimately a season full of promise ended with the all too familiar frustration. While the Chicago Bears finished 5-12, a record that stung a little less thanks to the Packers win, but still stung nevertheless, it does breathe in a little hope for the future. We have protection, we have the structure, but more importantly, we have the foundation worthy of our future. And I mean, not gonna lie, the Bears did what they were supposed to do this offseason. They went out, not only got Caleb a protective offensive line, but a Super Bowl caliber offensive line. It's throwing a lot. But when you have all pros, Pro Bowlers, and a top 5 center on your offensive line, you are expected to not make let's dial it back. Not make the Super Bowl, but at the very least to make sure that Caleb Williams is not sacked 63 times. And that's number one. Like that's number one. It's not sacked so much, right? And this year, in my opinion, is a proven year for two specific people in this Bears organization. That is Caleb Williams and that is Ryan Poles. Right? Like this is their make it or break it year because there are no more excuses, right? Last year you had the excuse, well, Matt Eberflus was terrible, obviously, and the offensive line was not great. We got Caleb the weapons he needed, but we did not build around him to, help him grow as a quarterback, right? We saw flashes of it, right? The comeback that was almost happened in Detroit's Thanksgiving Day game. The great comeback against the Vikings, where we got an onside kick. Everything was leading up to us winning and then the game in Washington, right? There were moments where we saw what this team can be. There were moments in where we had the belief of it, and it just broke our hearts once again. But as far as that goes, I do believe the Chicago Bears are on to something this year, right? Like, again, going and getting the biggest problem for this offensive line for the past 5 years, which was the offensive line. going out and not being shy and spending money, spending draft capital to get players to help him develop as a quarterback. Going out and getting, in my opinion, one of the best offensive minds we have seen in football in a while in Ben Johnson, a guy who is, his track record speaks for himself. Revived Jared Goff's career, made Jared Goff look like a Super Bowl contending quarterback again. They go out and get a defensive guy in Dennis Allen, who I know people like, yeah, Dennis Allen, he's still a great defensive mind. There is no more excuses for Caleb Williams. And for Ryan Poles, so for Caleb Williams, I'll say this. He does not need to get to the playoffs. He doesn't need to get to a Super Bowl to have this be a success. All he needs to do is just to be the Chicago Bears quarterback that throws for 4,000 yards. All he needs to do is to be the Chicago Bears quarterback that elevates this team past the, once again, a great quarterback who just doesn't work in Chicago. It's putting pressure on him if you want to say he's the quarterback to break the Chicago Bears, kind of quarterback curse. But yeah, if that's what you're going for, then cool. But it is on Caleb Williams to kind of break this quarterback curse. And for Ryan Poles, this is kind of the make it or break it year for him. Now, he needs them to get to the playoffs. He needs them to look more than just a promising team for the future. Yeah, he needs that. Because this is his year. His seat is not as hot as it should be, but it's on fire. Right? Like, it is on fire for him. If he does not make the playoffs this year, I don't see them bring him around. Like, yeah, they can kind of keep him around because, hey, he's right there. We got everything we needed, but there are no more excuses now. You are not tied to a coach who, let's be honest, should not have been the head coach in the first place. You go out and you get offensive weapons in a draft that was very needed. You go out and get Colston Loveland. Should have got Tyler Warren, but we will see. We will see how that goes. But I believe in what this Bears offense is trying to do. We see what Ben Johnson can do with a 2 tight end set. You go out and get Luther Burden, who I believe could potentially be, I'll say this, he could potentially be the Amon-Ra St. Brown of the Bears offense. He could be that guy. I know the rumors of, DJ Moore not being happy with Caleb and, whatever, you can say that. But going out and get a Luther Burden, a steal in the second round, he could be that Amon-Ra St. Brown type of player. You fix this offensive line. You get Caleb Williams weapons. You get him the coach that he wanted. There are no more excuses for the Chicago Bears this year. It is a win now situation for them. They have everything they need to win now. We have known for years that this defense is always going to be there. It's now time for the offense to show up. It is now time for this offense to prove that it is a legit offense in the NFL. They are in a division where 2 of the 4 teams have their quarterback. Don't know what J.J. McCarthy is for the Minnesota Vikings just yet, with this essentially being his rookie year. The Packers went and drafted a receiver in the first round, so they're serious. And the Lions are still going to be there. Whether you believe in the fact that, they lost, their offensive and defensive coordinator, whether you believe it or not, they still have a squad over there. The Bears have to prove that this is their year. Going forward, there is no more, questions about, Caleb and anything like that. Like, I know the whole thing with the book and Caleb telling everybody that he didn't want to come to Chicago, that he didn't want to be there, that he was going to, skip out and go to the UFSL and whatever. Again, can you blame him? The history of the Chicago Bears quarterback has been cursed. When the Chicago Bears were the best quarterback in its franchise history is Sid Luckman, that is a problem. For the Chicago Bears franchise to not have a 4,000-yard passer at any time in its historic franchise history, For them not to have a 4,000-yard passer is a problem. For, if we're going to be honest, for their best quarterback in recent history to be Jay Cutler, that is a problem. No dissing smoking Joe Cutler. He almost got us to a Super Bowl. I still don't know why people are saying like, Jay Cutler chickened out. He should have went out there. Like, the man was legitimately injured. He was legitimately injured. It's not like he was just like, all right, I'm tired. I just want to play. He was hurt. He could not put any pressure on that leg. So, yeah, he couldn't come out there and do it. And we almost got it done with Caleb Haney. We almost had it. But from misfirings from Mitchell Trubisky, from misfirings from, I still don't think it was a misfire with Justin Fields. But for the Chicago Bears to not have a franchise quarterback going into 100-something years of NFL football, can you blame Caleb Williams for saying, I probably don't want to go there? Then when he gets there, you have a coach who don't know how to coach. A coach who would rather sit on a timeout to not set up a play that potentially could win you a game against the best team in football that year, your division rival, on national TV. You're inside the 35-yard line, so your kicker is good. For you to sit on that and not do anything. For you to have a kind of questionable game against Washington. For your quarterback to lead you down the field. For you to decide you want to call in a center fullback and hand him the ball off instead of handing it off to your goal line back in Roschon Johnson. Yeah, there's no overcoming that no matter how good of a quarterback you are. Jaden Daniels couldn't overcome bad coaching. Caleb is the guy. I know everybody likes to redraft, and if the Bears could redraft, they'd probably go and grab Jaden Daniels now. No, we would stick with Caleb. It wasn't Caleb. It was the coaching. It was everything else. But now it is no longer an excuse. There's no more excuses. There's no more, it was the offensive line. He didn't have any receivers. It's no more of that. You have one of the best offensive-minded head coach in the NFL today. You have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL today on paper. I got to preference that on paper. You have a chance to have a defense that is in the top 10 of almost every statistical category outside of sacks in the NFL. This is your proven year. You have to prove that you are the guy going forward. There is no more excuses. There's no more anything. If you cannot make it work now, I don't know where you're going to go forward. Because the state of the Chicago Bears is no longer hopeless. It's no longer lost in the wilderness. It's no longer rebuilding. We're rebuilding with purpose. We're rebuilding with precision. We are rebuilding with a plan. Hope is no longer a strategy anymore. Hope for the Chicago Bears this year is backed up with execution, backed up by coaching, discipline, growth. We have a front office that is accountable. We have a coaching staff that we demand excellence from. Our quarterback. No, we did not crown him too early. We have to give him the chance to succeed. We have to give him the chance to grow and to be the quarterback that everybody thought he was coming in. So with everything going on with the Chicago Bears, with everything that happened in the past, it's time to let the past be the past. It's time to go forward. It's time for the Chicago Bears to prove that they are not the same old Bears. It is time to prove it. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun. But brick by brick, lineman by lineman, offensive weapon by offensive weapon, we have to build something that lasts. We have to build something that's going to say it was the start of the Chicago Bears franchise. It was the start of a rebuild. So as far as this goes, the state of the Chicago Bears rebuilding, sure, but it's rebuilding with urgency, it's rebuilding with hope, and it's rebuilding with fire. So the Chicago Bears, they are not just rebuilding. They are rebuilding towards something great.